Hello, good morning everyone. Today we are going to do class 8 science chapter number 2 the cell. In Bharti Bhavan book of class 8 science the cell it comes under biology. What is cell? First I will give you an example from our day to day life. We see huge buildings. The buildings are made up of so many floors. All these floors are made up of so many rooms. Each room is made up of so many walls. If you will not say so many, at least each room is made up of 4 walls. And each wall is made up of so many bricks, a number of bricks. So we can say that brick is the building block of that building. That means the brick, from the brick only the building construction has been started, or where the manson started the construction of the building, he started with a brick. In the same way, we can compare our body with the whole building. Then the cell can be said to be the each and every brick of that building. So how do we define cell? Cell is defined as the building block of living organism. Cell is a structural and functional unit of life. When the life of a living organism starts, it starts from a cell. A cell is the smallest part of a living organism that we can think of. All living organisms, whether they are very small, like that example you take an ant, or you take the example of a very big animal, elephant or blue whale, or we human beings, each and every organism is made up of cell. There are so many cells. Every living organism starts its life as a cell. The single cell from which an individual develops, it divides and redivides. It divides again and again, it divides. And then these cells, they get specialized into different types to perform certain type of functions, and we call them as tissue. So what we saw in the building, that the cells combined to the bricks combined to form wall. Here we can say the cells, same type of cells, when they join together, when they start doing a similar function, we call them as a tissue. So how do we define tissue? A tissue is a group of similar cells that perform a particular function. Now in the building we saw that so many walls, or we can say 4 walls, or a number of walls we can say, made up a room. In the same way we can say that when these tissues, they join together, they work together, they perform one or more functions in the body of an organism, then we call them as an organ. So cells make up tissue, tissues make up organs, and organs make up organ system. So how do we define an organ? An organ is a group of tissues that work together to perform one or more functions in the body of an organism. One thing I told you all, the cell is called the structural and the functional unit of life. So we can say that the life of a living organism starts from a cell. So it is called the structural unit of life because the whole body structure started from a single cell. Now it is also called the functional unit of life because each and every cell perform the activities that a living organism should carry out, and together the cells combine to form tissues. Again the tissues perform the functions, tissues work together to form an organ, and the organ perform various functions, and then the organs together make up an organ system. In our human body, mainly there are 8 organ system that you might have studied in the lower classes. So the tiniest of the organism, the tiniest of organisms called unicellular organisms are made up of only one cell. So we can say living organisms can be classified into 2 categories. One is unicellular, another is multicellular. So what are unicellular organisms? Organisms that are made up of only one cell. They are known as unicellular organisms. And organisms that are made up of more than one cell, we call them as multicellular organisms. So unicellular organisms carry out all their life activities with the help of only one cell. All the activities are carried out by that single cell. But in multicellular organisms, what we have? Different number of cells are there. More than one cell is there. So different cells perform different functions. We can also say that the tissues perform different functions, organs perform different functions, and together in multicellular organism the function is not performed by only one cell. There are so many cells, there are so many tissues, there are so many organs to carry out the various functions. Now our next topic is type of cells. What do we mean here by type of cells? Type of cells, here we can say that there are mainly 2 types of cell, plant cell and animal cell, because the shape and the size of the cell in plants are different from that of a animal cell. So cells, they are different in size, shape and structure. Most of the cells are very small to be seen by our naked eye. We cannot see them with our naked eye. So how do we see them? We see them with the help of a microscope. Some of these cells, like that of the egg of the birds and the cells in the fiber yielding plants, they are quite large. So this was about the size. Some of these cells are very very small, and you will study in class 9 that cell size is measured with the help of micrometer, or we call them as micron, and the smallest cells are those of Mycoplasma gallisepticum, an organism intermediate between virus and bacteria, and the size is 0.1 micrometer. And 1 millimeter is equal to 1000 micron or micrometer. One millimeter is equal to 1000 micron or micrometer. Next we have about the shape. Cells are may be rectangular, they may be disc shaped, they may be polygonal, they may be spindle shaped. Some cells they are smooth while others are hair like growth coming out of them. Even even the internal structure of the cells of all the cells are not the same. So what we will do? We will study about them in this chapter, that how they are different internally. In the latter part of the chapter, we are going to study about the structure of the cell. Then we will see what things are present in the cell, what are the parts present in the cell. Now our next part. So we have seen above just now that cells are very small in size. We cannot see them with our naked eye. So in order to see them we need a microscope. See the diagram here. This is a microscope. With the help of a microscope we can see the enlarged image of the cell. So in last class 7 you will have studied about the convex lens, that convex lens produces enlarged image of objects. So in this microscope two convex lenses are used, and these convex lens does magnification, does enlargement of that cell, and we are easily able to see the inside of a cell. So let us study about this microscope. So in this microscope there are two lens, we can say. One is the eyepiece and other is the objective. The lens that is close to the specimen is placed here on the stage, this place on this one, and then this is known as the objective. Usually there may be two or more objectives that are of different degree magnification. That means different diopter one lens are used. When they have to see, they rotate it and turn and then try to see the clear image. And then the lens through which we human beings see, where we keep our eye here, this piece is known as the eyepiece. This is known as the eyepiece. And the image produced by the object acts as an object for the eyepiece. Try to understand. When the object has been placed on the stage, this one will magnify. Out of these three, whichever is used, that will magnify the image of this object. Again, the image formed by these lens will act as an object, and then the eye lens will again magnify it, and thus we are able to see much magnified image of the cell. Another topic we will see here is staining and mounting. Cells, tissues, microorganisms, or so on, whichever is observed under a microscope, they are known as specimens. And as a specimen, a cell or a tissue or a microorganism cannot be directly viewed. It may get dried up. So what we have to do, they are stained before being viewed. So what does staining mean? We saw here staining. So staining means putting some dye or some color or water etc. on the specimen so that they don't get dried up, as well as we are easily able to see them. So see here the definition of a stain. What is a stain? A stain is a dye which colors certain parts of the specimens a particular color. And why it is done? It is done to distinguish between the different parts of the specimen. For example, if we stain a specimen with iodine, any part of it which stores starch will show us distinctly because the starch will be stained blue-black. The color will change to blue-black. Starch shows change in the color of the iodine to blue-black. And the stained specimen is placed in a liquid medium on the glass slide. That one we saw, the stage one. Here it is placed, and a cover slip is placed over the that, and this process is known as mounting. This process is known as mounting, and it helps to dispel air. Air will be removed, and we can easily see that. Different mediums are used to preserve permanent slides which can be stored for long time. That means when we want to see them after months, years, etc. Another part is our now here, that weaving. Suppose we want to work with the lower power objective. First we have to align it with the tube that we saw here in this one tube. We have to put it in a proper way, and when it is put in a proper way, we will hear its click. Then we will move the mirror until it directs the light up the tube through the eyepiece. So here is the mirror. In this part is the mirror. We have to put the mirror, we have to adjust the mirror such that the light is reflected by this mirror upon this part here in this place, so that it directs the light up through the eyepiece into our eye. Then we place the slide at the center of the stage over the hole and turn the larger of the adjustment nodes until the objective is about a quarter of an inch away from the slide. This they are explaining how we can look it under the microscope, any slide etc., whatever we want to see, or a specimen we want to see. How it is done? First we are adjusting this tube, then we are taking the mirror, we are adjusting the mirror, and we are putting the mirror in such an adjusted way that it reflects light upon this part from where the light has to enter into this eyepiece. Then what we do? Then we bring the specimen on the glass slide and we put it over in this place. After that, one thing more, we have to put in such a way, the adjustment has to be done such a way that about a quarter of an inch gap is there between the slide and our objective piece. Okay? And then what we will do? We will look through the eyepiece and keep turning the knob until the specimen comes into focus. We will put our eye here in this part. We will put our eye here, and we will keep on moving this adjustment knob till the object, the substance, the specimen that we have kept here comes into our focus. And then we will turn the fine adjustment knob very slowly to get the clearest view of the specimen. When you will work with a microscope, you will understand it in a better way. Okay, I will try to load this activity by showing how we are making use of a microscope to see a specimen. So today we will see up to here. Next part we will continue another day. Thank you.